Now, championship permutations are actually available, unlike Mexico. Max is 39 points behind Leclerc with 60 points available. To win after the sprint, Charles needs a 52-point gap, so he needs to outscore Max by 13 points, which is impossible with only a max of 8, but it means he can secure it in the race. Those permutations we'll look at after the sprint. Qualifying 1 was alright, and we started well. 0.133 seconds ahead of Leclerc in second place. I don't know why I say Leclerc and then Leclerc. This lap I had the sector 2 purple, while Norris and Leclerc took the sector 1 and sector 3 purples. The session ended with me in second, 0.244 seconds behind Max in first. Qualifying 2 was better with a 0.670 second gap ahead of Norris, this time in second place. This time I also took the sector 1 and sector 2 purple, whilst Perez took the sector 3 purple. Go away, Perez. He stayed away. After the session I stayed first, 0.67 seconds ahead of Norris in second place. Qualifying 3 was intermediates. However, I did not get the mid-session details, so I only have the end-of-session data. 7th place, 0.804 seconds behind Norris on pole position. I tried doing multiple laps, but it did not work at all, and only improved 10th to 7th place.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez. The engineer, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Guan Yu Zhou. Hamilton, Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel and Gasly, Stroll, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher and Alex Albon. Sainz and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Here we are to start the sprint then, as we get ready for the 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Lando Norris seems to get a good start as Charles Leclerc looks to drop behind Lando Norris, but no, he's going alongside Lando Norris. He might be able to take turn 1 in the lead. It looks like Tsunoda has got past Winter as we head towards turn 1, but into turn 2, Winter gets back ahead and now can look at Daniel Ricciardo as Charles Leclerc leads the sprint with Max Verstappen, his championship rival, in third place. Increasing his points tally by 2 points over Max to 41 at the moment. As we head through sector 2, everyone looking to be calm at the moment as it is early in the race and I've realised I've got no audio to listen to. Oh, that's a loud audio. There we go. Much better. As we head toward sector 3 then, it is Charles Leclerc in the lead with Lando Norris second, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez encompassing George Russell. Daniel Ricciardo in 6th place with a Winter in 7th. Yuki Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon in 8th and 9th as Zhou Guan Yu looks to battle with Ocon for 9th as Pierre Gasly on the back of them in 11th. Kevin Magnussen in 12th with Hamilton and Vettel knocked out in Q2, 13th and 14th. Albon 15th, 16th is Schwartzman and Stroll 17th. Schumacher 18th. Sainz 19th and Bottas 20th. As we head on to lap 3, Winter did look at trying to overtake Ricciardo into turn 1. Didn't quite work, went a little bit wide, and we'll have to settle again to an attempt next lap. Lap 4 going around the outside. Is he going to be able to make the move this time? He locks up, and as we go into shot, Ricardo keeps ahead and stays in P6 for now. It's just not working for him on the outside at the moment. It seems like he's going to have to try the inside next time. As we head onto lap 5, he's gone towards the inside this time. A little bit of contact maybe as we head in towards turn 1. Winter's gone a little bit wide again and has allowed Daniel Ricciardo to get a switch back. Quite a good one as well. Not really much effort required. Just had to nip under the Williams and maintains P6 for now. As we head onto lap number 6, down the inside again he goes. Winter not locking up this time and gets the move before the apex to turn 2 and is up into P6. I've just realised I'm a little bit ahead, maybe. As on lap 6, Winter is in P6. So we head on to lap 7, lap 8, and Sergio Perez defending towards the inside. Winter knows that he's not been good on the outside, but he's going to try it, and through turn 2, he pulls ahead and is up into P5 a lot quicker. The move on Sergio Perez and then Daniel Ricciardo. The Red Bull seemingly slower in a straight line than the McLaren. As we head towards lap 9, towards turn 1, down the inside goes Winter on George Russell, and before turn 2 he is ahead and up into P4 now. And he can almost smell the podium. As we head onto lap 11 towards the inside of Max Verstappen, he goes down the inside. Is he going to be able to do it? Max has gone locked up. He's locked up and he's going to have to fight George Russell for P4 now. But into P3 goes Winter, and he looks like he's confused. He's defending the middle of the circuit. Did he think Red Bull was still alongside him? As we head on to lap 13, around the outside as Charles Leclerc goes. I should have started these highlights a little bit earlier, but no. Heading into turn 2, not alongside enough, and has to back out. And we'll have to try again on lap 14. Lap 14 we go. Towards the inside he goes this time. Charles Leclerc locks up, he goes a little bit wide. Is that going to allow Winter to get through? Yes it does. Charles Leclerc has to slot in for third place, and Winter moves himself up into second now. 1 place away from the sprint lead of Lando Norris. Lando Norris, lap 15, towards the outside. Norris moves a little bit in the brake zone and manages to keep ahead of Winter on this lap. But it looks like it's going to be only a short amount of time before Winter gets enough speed in towards turn 1 to actually get ahead. Lap 16, towards the inside goes Winter. Is he going to be able to make the move this time? Yes he does, and he gets ahead before the apex and is up into P1, but Lando Norris keeps on the back of him through turn 3. He's going to be able to try and move in towards turn 4. He defends towards the middle. He's going to go towards the outside is Lando Norris, but not quite goes for the move, and Winter keeps P1. Takes P1 from Norris. Championship status at the moment. Charles Leclerc gaining 1 point on Max Verstappen. As we head onto lap 24 then, the final lap. Hold station at the front. Lando Norris just dipping outside and inside of 1 sec. Oh, track limit warning. Lando Norris just dipping in and out of 1 second range from the Williams, but not ever getting close enough to try an attempt of an overtake. As we round the final corner then, Winter going to come across the line. Surely he's going to come across the line to win the race. It's a sprint and bag 8 points from P7. Quite a dominating driver, if I do say so myself. Being able to completely wipe the field and just over half the sprint. He was already up into P1. See what he can do from the front of the field in the race tomorrow. So yeah, this is just going to be me explaining everything. Okay, you guys are going to be a little bit ahead. Don't know what it was with this camera angle. Always race starts are very slow, and so a little bit of wheel spin helped Yuki Tsunoda get me into turn 1. Although I did go around his outside fairly easy, he got held up by the McLaren and Red Bull ahead of him. And so I was just able to go around the outside and take the position on the inside of turn 2. Lap 4, yeah, I took several attempts to get past Ricciardo, seemingly knowing the break point for myself, but not when I'm battling someone. Yeah, just went too deep when I tried down the inside, too deep when I tried around the outside, but eventually got him. I don't know why we're seeing this camera angle. I make a better highlight system than the game does. Yeah, lap 8, knew the inside worked, but George forced me to the outside, but left the door open on the inside, so I took it and in towards turn 1, kept the inside, and before turn 2 we were ahead and up into P4 with Max, Charles and Lando up next. We've just over half the sprint already made up 3 positions and 3 more to go. I don't know what it is about Brazil. I just love this circuit. I'm always quick around here. Yep, lap 15, just over half the sprint gone, and nice defender towards the middle, but I just took the inside, forced him to the outside, made myself the middle, and in towards turn 1 we were ahead and we came across the line to win the sprint. Very easy, that's how you do it. Race done on Boxing Day, script on 14th of January and voicing 17th of January, so that is out the way. The grid slot was green and the temperatures, who knows. The start was a bit poor, with having to re-overtake Tsunoda into turn 1 after he got ahead at the start of the sprint, so much that he was even a full car ahead into turn 1. Lap 3 I fought Ricciardo, forced him to the inside and I took the outside, but did not have enough speed needed to overtake him. Lap 4 I tried it again, but it was with no success, as I even locked up this time and started getting alongside later. Lap 5 I finally got the inside, but went deep and gave Ricciardo the switchback to keep the position. Lap 6 was better and I had the inside again, but this time I did not go deep and got 6th place. Perez was much easier, and with one attempt I had the outside and went clean round the outside and the inside for turn 2 and completed the move on the Red Bull. Lap 9 straight away went for Russell, and this one I got the inside early and I just completed the overtake before the apex really. Lap 11 I caught and overtook Max very simply, with Max locking up into turn 1 and going really wide, which handed me the position for the sprint podium. Charles Leclerc, I caught up to him on lap 13 and decided to opt for the overtake round the outside of turn 1. Did not work as he had the speed to keep me at bay. Therefore I went for the inside on lap 14, and with this Leclerc went into turn 1 and locked up. Did not go as wide as Max did when I overtook him, but it still gave me 2nd place. Lap 15 I tried to go for the sprint win into turn 1, but around the outside it was not successful. Lap 16 I went for the inside this time, and Lando was close enough ahead of to give me Lando was close enough ahead to give me enough of an overlap to overtake him. Skip to lap 24, I went wide through turn 1 to give me my only, I think, track extension warning. But it was the final lap. As it was the final lap, I came around the final corner to win the sprint from 7th place.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again, with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be key to any overtaking prospects today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. The engineer lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon and Lewis Hamilton, Vettel, Albon, Max Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Schwartzman, Stroll, Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Guan Yu Zhou. Mick Schumacher and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about the engineer. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Here we are for the main race as we get ready for 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Winter gets the poor start as Lando Norris already into P1 as we head towards turn 1. Looks like George Russell is also going to get the inside, and so does Charles Leclerc on the inside of turn 1. Winter lost 3 positions on the beginning of the race, but gets back past Charles Leclerc as we start the main race in Brazil. George Russell into P1 ahead of Lando Norris as Charles Leclerc has to fight with Daniel Ricciardo for P4. Sergio Perez dropping down to P6 behind Ricciardo as Max Verstappen dropping down even more after his grid penalty, along with Magnussen, Sainz and Schumacher. As we head into sector 2, George Russell leads with Lando Norris P2 maintaining his position, Charles Winter in 3rd, Charles Leclerc in 4th, Ricciardo moving up his position into 5th, Sergio Perez 6th, Lewis Hamilton 7th, Alexander Albon in the Aston Martin in 8th, AlphaTauri in P9 and 10 with Tsunoda heading that, Esteban Ocon in P11, Sebastian Vettel battling with Valtteri Bottas for P12, Schwartzman just ahead of Max Verstappen in P14 and 15, Zhou Guan Yu in 16th, Stroll in 17th, Schumacher, Magnussen and Carlos Sainz ending the grid. As we head on to lap number 7. Following Winter, still be up lap 8, lap 9. Towards the inside of Lando Norris he goes in towards turn 1. Lando Norris takes an opportunity to go down the inside of George Russell. Is George Russell now going to lose a position to Norris? Yes, he does. Is he going to lose a position to Winter now? He's going to be weak heading in towards turn 4. Lando Norris defends towards the middle. Winter looks to go towards the inside as we head through turn 4. Norris locks up. Norris is locked up and allowed Winter and George Russell to go ahead. And Russell maintains P1 and Winter moves up into 2nd place. After all that, Winter gets what he wanted. Tried to move into towards turn 1. Forced Lando into an overtake on George Russell. Norris got that. Then heading into turn 4, defends, locks up and allows Russell and Winter to get past him in the process. As we get on to lap number 10 now. 11, 12. Yes, we staying on lap 12. Camera changes when I normally switch laps. Although I have realised the flaw in that when the helicopter shot appears. Lap 15 then, towards the outside of turn 1 he goes. Is he going to be able to make the move on George Russell? He's heading into the apex and into towards turn 2. He forces him out and gets the position. He now leads the race once again, and it looks like the soft tyres are going to be degrading on the front runners now as George Russell tries to move in towards turn 4. Winter does not lock up, unlike Lando, and George Russell this time has to settle for second place, as Winter now can push on his mediums whilst the soft runners in the rest of the top 6 have to start thinking about their first of 2 pit stops. Winter, as always, looking like he's going to go for the medium hards, and hasn't let him down as of late. Only when he doesn't choose this strategy, ironically. Not ironically, that's how it's supposed to work. Heading on to lap 16 now, George Russell, Charles Leclerc and Daniel Ricciardo come into the pits for their first change of tyres. Lap 17, the helicopter shot. I don't think I'll wait for the change of camera on this one, because I know it'll take too long. Now we'll do. Lap 17. There we go. Turn 4, 5, 6, 7, no warning. Oh, 7? Yep, track extension. First one. See how many more we get. Another one on this lap? Can't actually remember. I did the script 3 days ago. No, nothing else. Lap 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33. 25-second gap over Sergio Perez on the medium tyres as well. George Russell already... Oh, come on. Lap 25 then. Lance Stroll heading on to lap 25. Let's see what goes on. He's battling with Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen goes towards the outside of turn 1. Is he going to be able to get enough of an overlap towards turn 2? Yes, he does, as Stroll also overtaken by Schwartzman. Overtaken by Sainz as well. He's slowing down. He's out on the race. Is he going to be retiring from this race? It looks like he is. He pulls it off to the side of the circuit, and he is out of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's the first retirement in this race. Let's head back onto lap 33 then. 25-second gap over to Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez yet to pit, with Russell, Leclerc, Norris, Ricciardo already pitting. Hamilton, Vettel and Verstappen, not sure about them, but I think Verstappen hasn't pit as he was down the order at the beginning of the race. Lap 33 then, and it looks like Winter's going to come into the pits for his one and only stop, just under halfway in this race. And make sure he doesn't speed. Locks up, looks like it could be close on the penalty as we head down the pit lane. Quite long this pit lane actually, although it makes up for it by cutting turn 1 and 3. A little bit slow on the rear right. It's going to push him a little bit closer to Sergio Perez than he would have wanted, especially on the cold hards coming out the pit lane. I'll have to check the delta. 8 seconds at the moment towards Sergio Perez. Don't see him on the screen. 5 seconds, 3 seconds is coming down all the while, but he's going to come out ahead and then back into P1, but soft, cold tyres. Sergio Perez hanging in the DRS, and lap 39, Sergio Perez finally dropped out of it and will surely be coming in to pit soon. Oh, lap 42. Warning. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit backwards though. Don't worry, this isn't a glitch. I just decided to pause. Don't actually know why. So, how's your day been? I hope you're having a good one. There we go, lap 43. Back racing again. Sergio Perez must have been on the hards then. I don't know. I don't remember Sergio Perez's strategy. Lap 54, Charles Leclerc going slowly. He's going to be retiring from this race. What's that going to be able to do for the championship? I kind of forgot what the championship permutations are. As he pulls over the side of turn 2 and is out of the race. But with Max Verstappen in P8, surely Charles is going to have to fight it for Abu Dhabi. No, it has to be 26 points after this, so Max would have to gain 11. No. 5. Pause, please. 15. Max would have to get in the podium. 4 points for Max is not going to be enough. Oh my god, we're already on lap 71. George Russell did get a little bit close, and I do have to say, thank you. Give me a little bit more time. Well, I'll just say that in the highlights. No, I won't. George Russell did get a little bit close. I did get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. No other penalties though. George Russell did get a little bit close. He got under 5 seconds. But I managed to pull a gap and pull it over 8 seconds during this lap. And there you go. 2 seconds. Kept the win. And we have confirmation. Max Verstappen did not get enough points. Charles Leclerc, despite DNFing from this race, is world champion of Championship 59. Well done. Oh, go on to the highlights. No, not you. Ah, where are you? There you are. Go. Oh, you're a little bit delayed. Right, heading into turn 1. Yeah, I just got a really poor start on the mediums. Don't really think I could help it. Was able to get ahead of Charles through turn 2 though. Lap 8. Yeah, I really don't know what Lando was thinking here. I don't know why he does down the inside of George. I kind of thought, oh great, we're gonna have stuck in this battle. I almost got the run on George through turn 3, but you kind of don't want to go offline unless you're Max in 2016 because you're gonna get no grip. And then, by luck, Lando locks up and I get my target anyway. And then later that lap, nothing of interest. I really don't remember what Sergio's strategy was. Anywho, lap 10. What happens here? Nothing, exactly. Cool, skip. I have nothing to talk about because it's not relevant at this point of the race. Seemed like Max made an early stop. So I think he must have got damaged whilst coming through the field. So the fact that he managed to get 4 points in the end was mental. Yeah, lap 14, got past George. Fairly easy when George has no DRS. Much easier than the overtake for the lead against Lando in the sprint. And then, oh wow, straight away. Yeah, we won. A little bit touch and go with George at the end, but it was fine. And, oh my lord. Oh yeah, this is funny moment. Got to be a little bit behind. So
Teammate behind is
what that was for.
They're on fresh softs. They're in 19th place.
Oh,
Time
full
last
race
lap was
update.
at 1 minute 13.5.
Yeah, Lando goes for the move on George on lap 5. Don't think this was any worth noting. George defended P1 and successfully defended P1. Lando has to settle for second for now, and like I said, not worth noting in the highlight.
Russell has just completed a pass for the lead.
And that's why George was already in the lead. By my reckoning, Mark, you cannot complete a pass for the lead when you're already in the lead. So I just thought that was really funny. Sorry about that. Anyway, the race. With Charles finishing 1 point ahead of Max in the sprint, the gap is now 40 points. To win, Charles needs to finish 14 points or less behind Max, or goes to Abu Dhabi. Therefore, for Charles to win, Max P1 fastest lap, Charles need P3 or higher. Max P1, Charles needs P4 or higher. Max P2 and fastest lap, Charles needs P7 or higher. Max P2, Charles P8 or higher. Max P3 with fastest lap, Charles P9 or higher. Max P3 with Charles needs P10 or higher. Max P4 and fastest lap and below, Charles Leclerc is champion. So you already know who's champion. Or if it goes to Abu Dhabi. Anyway, that kind of just... Well, you already know, I already explained it. This time I was able to pull out a purple grid slot to reduce the loss caused by my extremely poor race starts, as always. I predicted it correctly, that I fell to third before turn 1 and got back ahead of Charles into turn 2. I actually fell to fourth then. However, Norris and Russell kept their position ahead of me on lap 1. My strategy did differ, however, from my opponents with mediums to hards and softs to softs or mediums to mediums for the AI. I tried to overtake Lando on lap 9, however, down the inside of turn 1, but instead Lando went to the inside and dived down the inside of Russell. And they battled through the first 3 turns, but into turn 4, Norris locked up, and me and Russell took the opportunity and passed him. But Lando stayed ahead of Leclerc. Then we got to lap 15, and I finally took the chance to overtake Russell. Went round the outside turn 1 and forced him out on turn 2. But he had DRS, and therefore into turn 4 he had a small overlap, but it came down to nothing, as I was still way ahead of the mark. Then my first warning came on lap 17 through turn 7 when I went slightly wide to get the tracker extension warning. Lap 25, Stroll retired from the race, not giving anyone points though. Lap 33, I finally came into the pits to change from mediums to hards after the others all pit for their change of tyres except Perez. I had a 25-second gap to him anyway, so I stayed first. But it was not till lap 39 when he finally fell out of my DRS. Point worth noting, I didn't actually realise that I didn't remember that I had a slow stop. Also, the pit lane caught me out, and I sped into the pit lane, and we received the infamous 5-second penalty. I don't know why I'm saying we. I can't even say the word. Lap 42, I received my second warning. This time coming from a corner cut of turn 3, or is it a track extension of turn 2? I'll let you decide. Lap 54, Charles Leclerc decided he had already won the championship and he can retire from the race, and he did. Lap 59, I should have started to speed up as George came within 5 seconds of me, and so would finish ahead of me in first due to my penalty. But I did not panic. I did not panic till lap 65 when George was 3.5 seconds behind, mainly because I only ask radios when I'm bored or in response to marked messages, so I didn't realise the gap. I only thought I had a 3-second penalty from track limits, and I was not sure about the pit lane speeding penalty, so I wanted to make sure that I needed to get 8 seconds to be safe, but obviously I did not need that size of a gap. I did not need that big of a gap. I still had the pace, and on lap 67 I had the 5-second gap I needed. Midway through lap 71 I then got the gap I thought I needed, and so I won the race even with the penalty. Which is why I'm normally cautious in the pit lane, because I do not want to go into the pit lane. I do not go into the pit lane enough to know where the best braking point is, unlike every other every turn on the circuit. And actually, they don't have a speed limit for the corners, so yeah. But they do have technically they have a speed limit. It's called track extending warning, corner cutting warning as well. Locking up, spinning, all of that, slow lap time. Anyway, but all that all does not matter, as I won the race and the maximum points available from the sprint. From the Brazil weekend, 34 points. But with Max only P8 scoring 4 points and not even needing Charles to finish, the gap is 36 points. And Charles is champion of Championship 59.